everyone, and welcome once again to our weekly SonRise Project call, where it's always a safe space filled with love and compassion and our mutual desire to heal ourselves and our families. God grants us the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the wisdom, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Oh, I am so excited this morning to have a very special guest with us, Dr. Trenace Richardson, who is an ordained preacher, international keynote speaker, expert group facilitator, award-winning author, and nonprofit founder. She is also a powerhouse singer who was recently featured on the Netflix series Voices of Fire, produced by Pharrell Williams. I can't wait to see that. I have to see that and hear your beautiful voice. I've heard about it. With over 20 years of leadership experience in the public and private sectors, Dr. Richardson is a highly respected leadership researcher and practitioner. She oversees Trenace Richardson Enterprises, a speaking, consulting, and leadership development company. She also directs the work of her nonprofit, Real Women Inc., where safe spaces are created across the country and abroad for women to do personal development work on themselves. Dr. Richardson's passion is to help growing organizations and driven individuals understand and practice a theoretical leadership framework that she developed, which is called Leading with Soul. This inward focused leadership style has proven to be highly successful in the training of facilitators for her nonprofit and for her clients across the country. Dr. Richardson is currently the Associate Vice President of Organizational Development, Talent, and Equity at the College of Southern Maryland and a network executive coach for the global consultancy C-Suite Coach. She is a proud member of the Tri-County, Maryland alumni chapter of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated, the Charles County, Maryland chapter of the NAACP, the National Association of Diversity Officers in higher education, Transformative Atlantic, SHRM, and many, many, many other organizations. She's a lover of learning, and she recently earned a Master of Divinity degree from Howard University and a doctorate in higher education administration from the George Washington University. Her dissertation focused on the impact of spirituality on the leadership practices of African American women college presidents. She is honored to be the wife of Gregory Richardson, and they have two beautiful children, Naya and Nigel, and they live in Southern Maryland. So excited to have you, Soror Dr. Trinice. It's a pleasure to have you this early morning, this beautiful Sunday.
It
Welcome.
is, thank you so much. It's such a pleasure to be here with you, Kelly, and your audience. I'm privileged and honored to be here.
We are happy you're here, and I am going to spotlight you so everybody can see your beautiful face. And I want to start with a real simple question, which is about just tell us about yourself and all this incredible work that you do in the world. How to get started, what do you do? But give us a little bit of your background as well as we get started
Well,
this morning.
well, thank you for the question. We all have a start story, right? So I appreciate you asking, and it's such a wonderful space that we're in right now, being able to connect about our stories. I have always I grew up in church, so I'm a church girl, and was really taught very early on the importance of tapping in spiritually. So I think I was singing in the church choir and preaching before I knew what a 9 to 5 was. And so that's where I started. I started preaching in high school, and always knew that there was a calling on my life to preach and sing. And
And
once,
that's just amazing, by the way. Most of us were
yeah.
going to football games and homecomings and doing all kinds of other things, and you were preaching. I think that's amazing.
Well, what's funny about that is I joined the track team, JV, junior varsity track team, and I did wonderful my first practice. I just ran past everybody, so they put me in my first meet too early, and everybody ran past me. And so
Oh,
and
hilarious.
so choir met at the same time in school, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna stay over here with the singers.
Yes. And
Right.
God talked to you and said, "We're gonna come over here. We're gonna slide to the left
So
over to
slide
choir."
to the left to the choir. And so just always sang and recognized a call to ministry. When it came time to make a decision about life and 9 to 5, educators are in my family. So I have been in higher education, both secondary and higher education for over 20 years. I've, been a school teacher and then moved from that to a college administrator, and have worked at the college setting for several years. So interspersed between higher ed and church. I've been a leader in both of those spaces for years. And it got to the point where the word leader became problematic for me. That I was singing a lot of places, preaching a lot of places. I was on, I was local church famous in my sector and sphere, and that is a blessing. And if not taken well care of ourselves, it can be not a blessing. And so for me, I wasn't allowing myself to be poured into, and was allowing the word leader, the job of leader, to be my identity instead of really knowing and understanding who I was, and allowing those titles and all of that stuff. I really felt like I was exhausted but couldn't admit it. And so
Mm.
mental exhaustion happened, emotional exhaustion happened, and I was in the middle of a baby, a stepdaughter who's just like my daughter, a marriage. And so with that, all of that converging into one, I broke down and needed emotional and professional space. I needed margin. And in taking a long break from that, trying to figure out what was going on with me, um, I was functionally depressive. I was going to work because I had to, but I was coming home and getting into bed. And it was all of my own design. It was just not getting the support and not being transparent and vulnerable about my needs. It was during that space that I had God gave me the wherewithal to understand that I needed a safe space to just be. I didn't just need to create safe spaces and be someone else's leader, but I needed um, to be among women who allowed me to not be a leader and still expect and love me and accept me for who I was. And Real Women was born. Real Women,
I love that.
we create safe spaces for women to do personal development work on themselves. We call it soul work. And we have noticed over years that by convening these sister circles and gathering women in safe spaces, we help women connect with each other in meaningful ways. We help them really grow their confidence in who they are and who they are created to be and what they are created to do. And we help them really just become a positive catalyst of change in the lives of others, because once things start changing positively in your own life, you can't help but share it with someone else. And so we've been doing that work now for over 10 years, going on 11 years. And we create sister circles across the
Awesome.
country and abroad. We have been convening sister circles locally in the
I
DC,
love
Maryland,
it.
Virginia area, as well as other places.
And so are the sister circles virtual? Is that what you get together virtually? And is it like a weekly conversation?
It is a
Well, how does
both
it work?
It is a both and, a this and that. So we meet monthly
Okay.
virtually in order to accommodate where folks live, no matter where they live. And so monthly, they happen virtually every single month. But then
That's great.
we have always solicited the support of those who live in other areas. We call them connectors, and they help us establish sister circles in specific areas across the country and abroad. We've always
Love it.
started with our nucleus here. So
Mm,
currently, we have a Real Women Charles County, that Maryland, that meets in person. We have
mm-hmm.
a Real Women Hampton Roads, Virginia, that
Love
meets
it.
in Hampton Roads, Virginia, monthly in person. We have a
Mm-hmm.
young adult Real Women, and so when we train facilitators to do the work that we do, because it is not a space where there's a speaker and a speaker speaks and they share all the
Mm-hmm.
nuggets and the steps and this is how you do it.
Yep.
But we convene and facilitate a discussion
Mm-hmm.
among the women who
Mm-hmm.
are there so that we all feel comfortable enough to talk and share and help each other, because we all have the nuggets inside of us, both
Right.
to help ourselves as well as to be a blessing to those in the circle. And so, yeah, they happen
Mm-hmm.
in person as well as virtually.
I love that. I love that. And you said something as you were getting ready to explain that. You talked about being functionally depressed.
Yeah.
And um, I think so many of us are at times in our lives, but don't know how to deal with that, or
Hmm.
don't know what to do, or how to talk about it and feel comfortable talking about it, and then find the help. So, how did you get to the place where you were comfortable talking and sharing? And then, how did you find help so that you could start leaning into joy? How did
Yeah.
you get out of that space?
Yeah. So important. I love the practicality of that question, right? Because we could
Mm-hmm.
talk up here about what
Yes.
we've been dealing with, but to really just dig into it in a real way. So I liken sharing vulnerably and openly and admitting what's going on with us,
Mm-hmm.
even excavating and discovering what's going on with us instead of ignoring it and suppressing it. I ignore it
Mm-hmm.
like I liken it to weightlifting,
Mm-hmm.
because you can look at a 20 pound or a 30 pound weight and you could just look at it over there and be like, I'm not gonna lift that. We're not gonna deal with that over
Mm-hmm.
there.
Mm-hmm.
You can try to lift it and realize how heavy it is or how difficult it is. And the more that you do it, the more you go over there, the more you look
Mm-hmm.
at it, the more you try to lift it up, the more you start with the 15 pounds or the 10 pounds or the
Mm-hmm.
5 pounds. So
Mm-hmm.
what I did honestly was I had vulnerable conversations, first with my husband, and then with my good girlfriends. And so the more I said, I am not okay. The more I
Mm-hmm.
said, I'm not feeling well today, or I don't feel like doing all the things on my to-do plate, the more I exposed my vulnerable, honest, gut wrenching feelings. Little by little, I opened up a bit more. I can't,
Yeah.
I can't tell you it was some overnight magical pill that I took or did. It was feeling safe enough in some place to
Yeah.
share that I was not okay. And I still, somebody put in the
Mm-hmm.
chat, functional depressive is so real, because I still had to go to work. I still work didn't
That's
stop.
right.
I still had bills to pay and all of that, but I was able to share and release a little bit of something piece by piece, to the point where, okay, now I need to go to counseling, because I'm ready
Yes.
to invest some money in what I need to do. In this space that we're in post pandemic, there are a lot of low to no cost counseling spaces, but the key for me, honestly, was being able to look at the women that I would typically be serving and say,
Mm-hmm.
I am not okay. Because we,
Yes.
as people, as Black women, I don't know, all of the demographics, we can very easily put people on pedestals.
Mm-hmm.
And when we put people on pedestals, we don't give them room to be human and to fall and feel crushed and broken, and
Mm-hmm.
the way that normal people do. We don't give them the safe
Right.
space to do that.
That's right.
And so it was when I started convening this circle of
Mm-hmm.
women and Real Women
Mm-hmm.
and saying, I didn't just create this space for you
Right.
all. I created it
Right.
for me. It was for
I
me.
get that.
I
Yes.
needed it. So I would
Hmm.
say, bit by bit, begin to share what you're feeling and how you're feeling with somebody.
I agree. Oh, I
Yeah.
love what you said. That's
Yeah.
exactly The same way you started your circles and that safe space, I believe, is exactly the same as Sunrise because we were talking earlier this morning how this space helps me every single week. I get something, some nugget, or there's a situation I'm dealing with that somebody says something, but creating it because there's a need within ourselves helps yourself and other people by default in a beautiful way. So I love that. I love that. So our topic this morning is about leaning into joy.
Mhm.
And I have a beautiful sweatshirt that talks about choosing joy.
Mhm.
And joy is my middle name. I feel like I'm finally leaning into joy. Finally, I was about to say my age, but people keep telling me not to do that, but I'm proud of my age. But anyway, so what does it mean for you? What does it mean to lean into joy? To really lean into joy? What does that mean for you?
I have to say how much of a God moment this is because I just realized your middle name is Joy. So just
Yes,
give me
Kelli
a moment. I
Joy.
love that. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I love that.
Mm,
This topic is so important to me because I believe we deal so much in life with so much. We juggle a lot as women. We juggle a lot as Black women. We juggle a lot. So choosing what to focus on
mhm,
is a
mhm.
daily, hourly, moment by moment choice. And
Yes,
so to me,
yes,
leaning into joy means that we are making a concerted and conscious effort, a concerted effort and a conscious decision to focus on things that
mhm.
make us happy, to focus on things that would cause us to smile or laugh.
Yes,
We feel compelled, I think, just naturally to work, worry, and possibly even complain about all the things. And that does
yes,
no good for our nervous system, our physical bodies. It is
yes,
all integrated and connected, and the body keeps the score, all the things, right?
yes,
And so for us to focus on the things that bring us joy is so important. So it means
yes.
in this moment, I have a
Mm,
choice. And in this
that's right.
moment, right now, what can I do, large or small, that would bring a smile to me, that would allow
Yes,
me to smile? And I will also say that leaning into joy means not waiting on someone else's
that's
um,
right.
actions or words to allow us to feel good about who we are
Mhm.
and what we are, because we are giving that power to someone else if we don't understand that we have the power to kind of make those choices from moment to moment.
We have the power, and it's about the power of choice. That's
Yes.
what I think you says, the choosing to have choosing to create spaces that feel good or to
Mhm.
be in spaces that feel good versus the opposite, right? Around people that make us feel good.
Yes. Can I say, for a long
Mhm.
time, I felt
Mhm.
as if I had no choice. I know that some
Mm.
of us feel compelled. I I I gotta work this job. I
Right.
gotta do this particular thing with these kids, or that's what they expect of me. These people in my life expect this of me, or
That's
I've
right.
I've been in this relationship forever. How I don't have any choice. I don't have any options. And it's the compulsion. Oh, I consider it sort of our mantle of maternal morality. We just feel like
Yes.
we are mandated to do certain things a certain way so that others feel
Yes.
better, and we are willing to be taken and considered last on the totem pole,
That's
or
right.
put on the back burner. And so to say we have choice, to say we have
Mhm.
agency is
Mhm.
critical to the trajectory of our lives. We have a choice in this moment to say, you know what? I don't feel
Mhm.
like doing that today.
Yes, exactly.
I feel like doing this. I had a choice yesterday to be supportive of I'll call it an acquaintance, not so close that I would call a friend or a brother, but an acquaintance had a
Hmm.
birthday party. And then there was a comedy show that I had been invited to. And I just looked at the two options and I said, I choose laughter today. So
Yes,
we have a
yes.
choice. We have a
We
choice.
have a choice, and we can choose a a self-empowering response to people. We can
Hmm.
choose to be silent when we need to be silent. I was talking about one of my children this morning, and the beauty of silence
Hmm.
opens up such space for this magical. It wasn't magical, it's God and divine, but this moment that
Hmm.
happened last night as I was taking his braids out
Hmm.
after 4 months. But it
Hmm.
was just a beautiful, quiet space as he was playing his guitar to
Hmm.
some rock music, and I was struggling, but breathing and just respond, not responding, allowing it to happen
Hmm.
in a
Can I?
beautiful space. But that choice, it was a choice.
Yes.
Go ahead.
And
Hmm.
not only, I love how you described that, and I appreciate you sharing a bit more with me beforehand, because you could have chosen, of course, not to do that. You could have chosen not to have that moment with your son, but also being in that moment
Hmm.
means me leaning into joy means being in
That's
that
right.
moment, being
Yes.
fully present in that moment, because you added a piece
Yes.
that I didn't hear you say earlier, that he was strumming his guitar while can listen, I'm picturing all the feels right now
Yes, yes,
of
sitting on the
how
floor between my legs, like back,
yes.
you know, 60
Oh,
years ago with my mother. I remember sitting on the floor with her hands in my head, and that's what I was doing, pulling all the extensions out and it was a deep moment. And it
that
was
that you will
mhm,
hold on to and that he will hold on to for a very long
mhm,
time, but it's because you made that one decision to be present, to, as someone said,
yes,
presence is a present, and
yes,
to choose to just be present in that moment. You'll take all of those nuggets away for a very long time, so thank you for sharing
yes.
that. Hmm.
Absolutely. And that's the journey, I think, like whether it's your circles and the conversation or the conversations we have here, the journey and what I've learned so much is the power of being silent, because that word is the same as listen. The letters are the same. Someone said that here years ago. And that word and the beauty for that 4 hours, literally 4 hours, I probably said 5 words. And vice versa. He was playing that rock music, and I was going, I'm a hip hop head, but
Yeah.
also I was struggling, listening, but also thinking, okay, this is his world. I'm gonna get in his world
Mm,
and let
mm,
him be in his space while I am, dealing with this head of 4 months.
mm,
It's
mhm,
right. So
mhm,
anyway, it was a beautiful moment. And the point is choosing, with full circle back to what you said, is the power to choose how we communicate, how we show up, and also, I think leaning into joy and being vulnerable. You said it earlier, being vulnerable to say, I'm sorry,
mm, mm,
because as parents, a lot of times we don't apologize
mhm.
for some of maybe it's called unparenting
Yeah,
or,
yeah,
lack of parenting
yeah,
the
yeah,
way, I wish I had. I've forgiven myself, but I didn't apologize to my children
yeah,
until now. It's a
yeah,
different mindset. It opens up a space. It's very different.
yeah. Can I say something about that? And it's
Please,
still,
please.
still connected
Hmm.
to joy. I love the listen and silent and the connection between them, first of all,
Yeah.
because we think, or we could tend to think, that joy is just all about the smiles and the belly laughs
Hmm.
and the
That's right.
I got to do something fun and I've got to do something, but to be able to sit still and entertain and embrace silence. there is
Yes.
there is the word that comes to mind that is a cousin of
Hmm.
joy is peace. There is a
That's it.
peace that can
Yes.
come with being able to sit still within
Yes.
ourselves or with others that we love. You mentioned earlier just being able to be around people who bring you joy. Sometimes the
That's
people who
right.
bring you joy, you're able to
Mhm.
laugh together, but those quiet moments when I love you if
Yes.
I can just sit and watch TV with you or read a
That's
book
right.
with next
That's
to you
right.
and we don't have to say a word and we
That's
can
right.
just be. So
Yes.
peace and joy are cousins and we
I
need to
love
make
that.
it when
And
and then
love, and
yeah,
love.
yeah.
Mhm.
And then
Mhm.
the other thing you make me think about was the journey to joy
Yes.
is not always a feel good one.
Yes.
So in order for me to get
Mm.
to joy, a
Yes.
place where I experience happiness and I've got some sister girlfriends on this call right now who if they took the mic, I know because I invited them or they know you and they have come and our journey to joy is
Mhm.
not always an easy one, but
Yes.
we get to say I know what the outcome or the aftermath of this work is.
Yes.
This work of excavation, of saying what I'm feeling, of no longer suppressing what I'm feeling, of being honest, having the hard conversations with the people around me
Yeah.
that I had such a difficult season of my life because I was trying to continue being a big sister to someone who
Mhm.
wanted to drain the life out of me. Everything
Oh,
she could
wow.
possibly take from me, she wanted. And so
Mm.
it was not a reciprocal relationship. And
Mm.
so we might even laugh or joke together at some point, but joy was not present. And
Mhm.
so I had to have, piece by piece, we'll have this hard conversation. It's just like that muscle I was talking about building.
Yes.
We would have this conversation and it got to the point where I had to say, we can no longer be in relationship because this is not only is it not reciprocal, but it's not what I am pouring
Wow.
in doesn't even seem to be received well. And so
Wow.
that hard road, that hard journey led me to experiencing over time more joy, more peace than I ever have because I released a weight that was
Mm.
suppressing, that was weighing down my joy, that was weighing down my
Mm.
peace. And so just that journey to joy is not always an easy one, but it's worth it.
No. Ooh, it's really worth it, and it
Yeah.
requires purging forward. You have to
Hmm.
purge so many things sometimes, whether it's people or things, you know? What were you about to say, Dr.
I was just
Trenace?
go I was gonna say don't start with me because purge is my word. I do a purge.
Please.
I do a public purge twice a year. I
Really?
yes, literally, the spring and the end of the year. I chose at the end of this year not to do it publicly, and I did it privately. But my communities, so I'm sure we'll talk about um, how to connect with my communities and all of that later. But in my communities, we I invite them to do a purge of their physical spaces, but also their heart, mind, and spirit twice a year. So we are cleaning out our closets. I have a guide. We clean out our closets, but we also talk about what's cluttering our schedules, what's cluttering our minds and our hearts. So you just said one of my power words. That's all. I think purges are so important because
Yes.
it makes room.
Yes. 2024 for me was all about I used hashtag purge forward
Mm,
because you have to release to move forward
mm.
and
Yes.
leave all that crap in the behind. It's like, yeah, clothes, shoes, bags, all those are just things. But
Mm,
we get
mm,
rid of all the stuff, it opens up such a beautiful, peaceful place,
mm, mm,
without the junk or without the extra stuff. The
mm.
clouds are joy. So I
Ooh, that
love
is,
this conversation. And I
yeah.
love this whole notion of purging and having public purges twice a year. I just wrote that down. I'm like, that's a great idea. That
Spring
is a great
cleaning,
idea.
spring
Yeah,
cleaning and end of the year purge to take only into the new year what you want to take into the new
that's
year.
right.
Yep.
That's right. And it's
Those are
also
two.
shopping our closets. It's like a small
Yes.
thing. But I said, what if I just
Yes.
don't buy anything for a year? I mean, there's
So
just,
good.
I have so much stuff and things that it's like the Spark Joy book, Marie Kondo, I think it is.
Mhm.
That Spark Joy, it's like, does it make me feel good when I put it on? Or do I touch
Yeah.
it and it's like, oh, I love this material? If it doesn't, it blesses somebody else,
Yes.
versus going
Yes.
back in the closet.
Yes, so much about that.
Mhm.
The executive director for the um yeah, executive director, I want to make sure I get her title right, for the Netflix special that I was a part of,
Uh-huh.
was also the executive director for Marie Kondo's TV show. And
Oh,
so
wow.
yeah, so we got to talk a lot about that while she was on set with us. But that, you're so right. What I've been able to do every year by purging my closet is be a blessing to somebody else. I have stuff in my basement right now from my spring purge that I'm about to release to someone who I know will want it and appreciate it. I've released some weight, and so I was able to share some of those things. But I also wanted to say, one of the things that is bringing me joy is that purge. A couple of people in the chat said purging makes room. Purging is a part of the joy journey. Um,
Hmm.
I decided to start, and as a part of my purge, to save some money because one of the things that I know is going to bring me more joy future
Hmm.
forward, that I'm working for right now. So the
Hmm.
joy journey takes some work to get to greater levels of it. Is
Yes.
I'm setting myself up to own acres of land. And so I want to farm on that land.
Wonderful.
I convene a lot of spaces where I bring, especially women, but people together, and I want to be able to do that on my own land and not rent and
I
continue to lease
love
space
that.
from other people. And so I am saving money right now to move forward in that. And one of the ways in which I agreed to save money this year was I decided I'm on hair. And so
Say
I
that again. You went out for a second. I decided to do what?
my own hair.
Oh, I love it. Yes, it's beautiful.
And I share that because, I do wash and wear. It seems like similar to you, Kelly. I do wash and wear during the summer, but
Uh-huh.
during the year, the winter time especially, I do blow dries, blowouts and
Uh-huh.
all of that. And I decided to start doing my own, and it felt like hard, laborious work when I first got started. But I have been enjoying that thing now.
Oh, that's
Having my
wonderful.
hands in my own hair is a
Yes.
space that I'm enjoying being in, but also not only has it saved me money, but I've gotten the most compliments. I'm like, for real
It's
though? It looks good to
beautiful.
you? I
Hmm.
only share that because that is a point of joy for me right now. And
Wow.
it's because I'm being very present, taking care of myself. It does not have to be expensive to bring you joy. It
Yes.
does not have to, it can be something that maybe you thought someone else should have been doing that maybe you bring to yourself. It could be, I'm saving money, I'm being economical about it. Whatever it is, putting yourself in that moment. What are the benefits of this?
Mm.
What does it
Yes.
bring me? And finding the
Yes.
joy in it.
I
Finding the
love
joy
that.
in it.
I love finding the joy in it. It's so
Mhm.
powerful. I'm smiling because I took out my little puppy this morning and I was thinking, I really think I'm going to start running again today, or even just walking, because I haven't done that in months. It used to give me
Mm.
such joy, and I live a
Mm.
block from the trail.
Mhm.
So, it's like, why not get out there? Even if it's 30
Mhm.
minutes, that gives me joy thinking about it. Like to actually
Mhm.
just take a moment to go for a walk and enjoy the nature. Nature. And what you just said was beautiful. It made me smile thinking about that. And as you talked about washing your hair, I saw the joy. I
Mhm.
saw your face light up as you put your hands in your hair. And it is
Mhm.
really gorgeous. It's beautiful. It's fantastic. So why don't a lot of women do this? Especially Black women. Why is it, or what is it that prevents us um as a people, as Black women, why don't we, or what prevents us from choosing joy?
Mhm. We busy, child. We are busy.
That's part. That's right there.
We are busy. We are working. We
Hmm.
are taking care of other people. I told you about that mandate, that mantle of maternal morality. We don't feel like we are doing it right if we are not taking care of somebody else. If somebody else is not saying thank you or I appreciate you or that was amazing, we feel like, we're not doing it right because somebody else doesn't benefit from what we are doing. We think all of what we do to focus on ourselves is selfish and self-centered, and we've learned that from whatever spaces we've been in, whether it was church and we were told to be, we were a servant for others and to be the martyr and to be more like Jesus, you got to die and give of yourself. Child, Jesus died and paid it all. I do not have to do that. He has
Right.
risen. He has risen to show me how to rise up. That's how I see
Right.
that. And so I think we are working so hard. I love what was put in the chat. We're also waiting for others to give it to us, right? And so we in relationships or even within our own lives, we not only is it that power of choice, but we have to recognize that our busyness does not equate to worth. The level of how busy we are and what those actions, those tasks, that level of busy does not equate to our worth. So that when we slow down and when we are just binging on Netflix, or Hulu, or when we are just taking a moment to just breathe, we feel like I'm not doing what I'm supposed to do right now. I'm not. No, 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 no. You are recharging. If you want to consider yourself a workhorse, okay, I'm gonna go with you for a second. I'm gonna meet you where you are. Re-
Hmm.
don't you recharge your phone?
Yes.
Don't you recharge your computer? Nothing we utilize as a tool or
Mm.
function as a machine,
Hmm.
none of it just happens all the time. Even the
That's
stuff that
right.
doesn't have to be plugged in is solar powered or water powered. All of us,
Yes.
and I dare say as a living being, we are solar powered. We are
That's
water
right.
powered, and we need to be regenerated just even more so than any other tool
Mm.
or machine that we use. And so, in order to work at our full capacity, in order
Mm.
for us to be our best for those folks that we love, that we care for, in order to be our best in our passion projects, we have to regenerate. And a
Yes.
part of regeneration, you could consider. Oh, I know you asked me what the problem was. I keep jumping to joy.
That's okay. This is good. This is great. Please.
Because what I see is I see us getting depleted and us not
Yes.
not drinking. They say drink your water, mind your business. I see us not drinking our water to regenerate ourselves. And so you can imagine like a plant. I'm a plant baby. I'm a tree hugger. I love being out in nature, Kelly.
Hmm.
If you want to go
Yes.
for a nature walk, invite me, please, girl.
Yes.
Um,
Okay.
and so when we look out in nature, a plant shrivels up water and the sunlight that it needs, right? The nutrients that it needs. That's us.
Hmm.
That's us.
Hmm.
And if you want to supercharge the growth of a plant, you add some, I'm learning in my farming classes, it's called amendments.
Okay.
You add amendments to the soil, you add nutrients to the soil. They say you can put banana peels in water. The water that you're using to
Mm.
water your plants, you soak them
Mm.
in banana peels, and you
Hmm.
utilize extra.
Wow.
If you want to supercharge something, you want to. I'm telling you, if we want to supercharge our regeneration, add some joy to that baby. Just
Yes.
find a way to do something, not just to rest, not just to scroll on Facebook, not just to sit and binge for hours, but what
Yes.
lights you up? what
Hmm.
what allows you to say, oh my gosh, I will never forget that I had the most fun today. For me, it is a nature
Mm.
walk, Kelly. I love getting out in nature,
Yes.
but if I don't make time for that, it's what you just said, I haven't done it for months.
That's
Like
right.
if I don't make time for that, I won't experience the aftermath, the afterglow of what I
Yes.
know brings me joy. So
Yes.
we can talk about the how-tos in a second, but I think that that's what keeps us from it. It's the busyness of life, of the must-dos and the shoulds, and I give
Yes.
all of us permission. Thou shalt not should on thyself. So.
Oh, say that again.
Thou shalt not should on thyself.
Yes.
It really is a mandate for us to take the agency that
That's
we are
it.
given. We only have, and I am sure that there is more to life than we know and understand. So there may be past and future lives. I don't know. All I
Mm-hmm.
know is
Mm-hmm.
I know right now today I only get this one life.
That's right.
And within this one life, Kelly, I don't mind saying I am 50 years old. And so there's something magical that
Yes.
happens in these
Yes, it
50s.
does.
Oh, child.
Yes, it
I
does.
am,
I'm 58. As someone told me
listen,
earlier, say it loud and proud. 58,
thank
and it
you.
feels good.
It feels good because you don't,
Mm-hmm.
first of
Mm-hmm.
all, I know this is a safe space, so I'm gonna say it because I feel it. Black don't crack. First of all. And and so we look 5, 10, 15 years younger than
Mm-hmm.
we you know
Yeah.
the age says we are. That's talk. Call the
Yes.
numbers in the chat. They're calling the numbers in the chat. I love it.
Yes.
Be-
53 and blessed. 50s
yes.
are special. 71. Okay. I
Isn't
love
that
it.
beautiful? Because
Yes.
we don't look, not only do we not look our
63.
age, we don't look like what we've been through. And
Not at all. Well, at
it's
least we work on it too.
yes, we work on it. We work on it.
Uh-huh.
The idea that we might
Mm-hmm.
feel drained sometimes does not
Mm-hmm.
necessarily
Mm-hmm.
equate to looking like what we've been through. And so you just get me excited about this. I really believe that we as human beings with finite lives,
Mm-hmm.
we have the opportunity to make every day count. Our big sister, my mentor, our
Yes.
soror, she says all the time that we should not waste any heartbeats. And I just
I love
believe
you talking about Dr. Vicky, who we
I
love and
am.
adore.
Dr. Vicki
Mm-hmm.
Johnson says that we just don't have any heartbeats to waste. And so
No.
asking ourselves, is this worth my heartbeat? Is this worth what I'm about to do? And can it supercharge? Can it 10 times experience in this moment? Will I be able to laugh more? Will I be able to be more
Yes.
at peace? I think we have to ask ourselves those questions.
Yes. I love that and love this whole hour about choosing joy and journey to joy and all kinds of joy goodness. I want to
Mhm.
make sure, and I love the lines in the chat. You're speaking my language. Preach. I love thou shalt not should on their self. That is so powerful. Thou
Mhm.
should not should on thyself. And that is what we do so often.
Mhm.
I was looking up at the gym this morning in my building. I was like, I need to go up there. I should go up there today.
Mhm.
Should. And I've
Mhm.
been saying that for months. No,
Mhm.
going up there today. I'm gonna get
Mhm.
on the elevator and go to the gym after I do my walk.
Yes, and I love that the shift that you just made because it's just I want to or I'm going to.
Yes.
I will. Um, I
Hmm.
I love the shifts in our language because what we say also directs our actions, I know that there's a whole lot behind our thought process that leads to what we say, but being able to even change that wording until it gets really cemented into how we think about it. Just thinking, whenever I say should, and I still
Hmm.
say it every once in a while, but I catch myself and I'm like, you know what, I should no, 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 no. What do I want to do?
Yes.
What do I feel pulled toward or compelled toward in this moment?
Yes.
This conversation about joy brought up exercise, walking, and nature, and
Yes.
all of that for you, Kelly. The question is, what does it bring up for us on the call? Like, what does
That's
this
it.
What comes to mind when you think of joy, when you think of laughter, when you think of peace, when you think of a woosah? What comes to mind for you, and how can you
Yeah.
move in that direction today?
And create the life that gives us that. Because that's the
Mm,
thing.
mm,
It's like instead of running to vacation, why can't we create our vacation every day? Or
mm,
create
mm.
what you just said, create the space that we love.
Absolutely.
Physically, mentally, spiritually, all of that. I love it. And
Mhm,
there's a possibility and an
mhm.
opportunity every day to create
Every
that
day.
day.
Yep,
Yeah.
every day. Yep.
It's so
And it,
interesting. Go
no,
ahead.
you first this time.
Now, I want to make sure that we open up the floor so if people want to share or have a thought or want to ask a question of Dr. Trenace, please do so. Feel free to come off of mute. You can come on video if you want, or you can just hit the *6 button on your phone if that's what you're doing this morning. But feel free to ask a question or do anything. Someone says, doing the electric slide. I love.
Hey, hey,
Absolutely. Yes, I'm
hey, I
doing
love it.
the Tupac challenge. I'm doing it today. I practiced 1,000 times. I finally got it. I
What is
finally
it,
got
Kelly?
it.
What are you
It's the
doing?
Tupac How Do You Want It challenge, I think.
Oh,
And
I gotta go
it's
look.
this I love the way, oh God, I got it. I got it. I got it. I'm doing it today. And so that's gonna give me joy because I finally got that little dance. It's the Tupac How Do You Want It challenge, I think. It's
Li- I,
great.
I know you're about to open the floor, and I so want to hear from everybody. Please share with me a
Yes.
thought or a question. But you just made me think about the new dance. Where them fans at? Hey, where them
Oh,
fans?
I need to do that too.
Oh my
Okay.
gosh, I'm gonna learn it for the next party I go to. I'm gonna learn it. I don't know if anybody in the chat knows it, but I'm gonna learn it. Oh, it's
I
amazing
don't,
to
but I'm gonna
watch.
learn that too. I'm
Uh-huh.
gonna learn that too. That's awesome. And I
Mhm,
want to make sure that we also share how people can reach you. I'm gonna put
mhm.
that in the chat and please share verbally as well if somebody's on the phone. How can they join one of your circles or be a part of your community?
Absolutely. I'll go ahead and share verbally and then put it in the chat while people share
Okay.
and share their unmutes. So you can find me at all things Trenace Richardson .com. Everything that
Okay.
about me is at trenacericardson.com. Speaking, singing, author, all of that stuff is there.
All things
My
Trenace Richardson. The whole thing, all
yes,
things
Trenace.
Trenace Richardson.
No, no, no. I'm sorry. It's just
No.
trenacericardson.com.
Okay, let me say, oops, no, not what I just said in the chat.
Yep.
So TrenaceRichardson.com. Okay.
Yes, trenacericardson.com. No, no, no worries. So my baby behind me, one of my sisters and team members have already put in the chat, is Real Women. And we create safe spaces for women to do personal development work on themselves. And we are creating these sister circles and helping women one woman at a time, one circle at a time. And we have circles every
Mm-hmm.
single month. You go there and you can find our monthly events
Mm-hmm.
and then we are having events just to share who we are and what we do and to fundraise because we are a 501c3 nonprofit in good standing. And so
Okay.
March 29th, we are having a fundraiser. We're calling it the Blossom Brunch to open up for the spring, where you can come and have good food. We have a chef catered brunch. We have live music right in Southern Maryland. We're going to be celebrating a woman in this area who has helped so many women and people who are disenfranchised, Sandy Washington from Lifestyles of Maryland. We're going to be
Okay.
celebrating the women in our community. All of that information is at realwomenrock.org.
Okay, got it. Love that. Realwomenrock.org and Trenace Richardson, which is Trenace Richardson. We think we're related somehow. .com,
Mhm.
TrenaceRichardson.com. And we just have a few more minutes. So does anybody want to share or have a thought or anything or ask a question of Dr. Trenace this morning? The comments are wonderful in the chat. Hmm. Quiet, quiet, quiet. Okay. Well, maybe you were asking people to share, what's one thing, maybe people will put in the chat, what's one thing we will all do today
Mhm.
that will help us on our journey to joy?
Mhm.
Let's
Yeah,
write that in the chat. One thing.
I love that one. Hmm.
Hmm.
And I'll while they're coming in the chat, ooh, purge. Make it simple for yourself too. It doesn't have to be
Yes.
really big. And Marie, maybe you will purge, one item out of your closet or one thing today, or maybe you'll do one drawer today. It's a
Yes.
one step at a time, one moment at a time. You don't have to do anything overwhelming.
Oh, someone said cooking grits at DSAP. I love that. D makes a wonderful. A long walk. That's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to stop booking meetings because I've been
Mhm,
booking meetings all morning. Calls, things,
mhm,
people. Can you talk today? Can you talk today? I've said yes at least 5 times. Why?
mhm,
No, I don't
mhm,
want to do any meetings today.
mhm.
So I'm going to
Absolutely.
cancel those meetings
Good for you. Good for
or
you.
do the calls while I'm on my walk. I can do
Yeah,
the calls on the
yeah,
walk.
yes.
Yeah, a bubble bath and rest. I love that.
Yeah. I think you have a hand up too, Kelly.
Oh, yes, please. Feel free to come off of mute.
Hi guys, this is Tosh.
Good morning.
Good
Hey,
morning.
Tosh.
I'm being lazy, so that's why I sound like this.
That's good.
but
That's
um
good.
always I'm a real woman, just in case people didn't know. I'm in the circle.
Hmm.
But I do want I hear us talk about purging. Today I want to charge you ladies or whoever's on the call to do the hard type of purging. My big purge that I did for myself last year was release my mom's ashes.
Mm,
So I mean, that's where we really will begin the real journey to joy. It's not about material things. It's about some things that are just solely inside of you that you need to purge or release so you can truly experience what your heartbeat is really saying to you and who you share it with. So I just wanted to share that with you all because I've been listening. I've been purging my office this week, but since I've purged and released my mom's ashes, guys, I can't even
mm,
articulate in words what that has done for me, personally, physically, mentally, spiritually. So I charge you all to don't be afraid. Do it afraid, do it
mhm,
afraid, but let it go because it's so free.
mhm. That's so good. So, an emotional purge is what led to your action led to an emotional purge. That's beautiful, Taj. Thank you for sharing that. Hmm. There's some good ones in the chat too, Kelly. Oh, I think you're muted. Did you know that, Kelly?
Yes, yes, I
Okay.
was chatting to myself. A good laugh just because I will take a walk with my dog and ride with my bike. I love that it's a
Mm-hmm.
will. It's a definitive, a declarative
Mm-hmm.
statement. I will do this. I will.
Mm-hmm.
I love that. Love, love, love. And yeah, I will walk and talk. These phone calls I said I will do them on my walk.
Yeah, because why
So
not?
that's
You get
why
to
not?
choose. Why not?
Right, right. Absolutely. I get to choose. It's going to be a beautiful day. All
Hmm.
right. Well, is there anyone else that wants to share? Because I see beautiful conversation, great discussion. Thanks for sharing. Wonderful session, Dr. Trenace. Here, I agree. I'm so grateful for you this morning.
Mm.
And do you want to close by sharing a few last thoughts on choosing joy?
I'd be honored to. This has been such a blessing. I'm so honored to have been invited into your space and feel right at home. So thank you for the opportunity to come and not only in our communities do we give each other these safe spaces, but
Hmm.
we ourselves are safe space for ourselves. Um,
Hmm.
and it does not take a convening of all of
Hmm.
us in order
Hmm.
for us to find the joy and the peace
Right.
within us that we already have access to. And so, in every moment, in every
Mhm,
hour. And, it
mm,
just moments leads to minutes and minutes leads to hours, that the cumulative effect of us choosing joy in the moments that
mhm,
we are in leads to a journey changing the trajectory of our lives. So
mhm.
we get to choose joy.
We get to choose joy every moment, every day, every morning, every
Mhm.
night. We get to choose what's going to give us joy, how we will feel joy. And it
Yeah,
starts to come out of our systems. It starts to really shine.
yeah,
I
yeah.
love that. Well, I would
Mhm.
love to have you do our closing prayer. Normally, our big sister, Dr. Vicky, closes us out with the prayer,
Mhm.
but given that you just got your doctorate in divinity or your divinity master,
Well,
something, a big
yeah, well,
degree.
yeah. I would love to be able to say I just got it, but I got it in 2009. So somebody
Awesome.
on the call may not have been born in. I don't know.
That's hilarious. Well, would you be willing to close us out with a prayer this Sunday?
I would be honored. I would be honored.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you.
Yeah. Let us pray. God, I just thank you for this opportunity for women to gather, for humans to gather together, that when we are vulnerable and honest with each other, that your presence, because you're always here, your presence is here, but it is manifested in such a beautiful way. I thank you that your presence has manifested in such a way that no matter where we live in the world, that we have experienced a connection in this moment.
Mm,
Whether we
mhm,
are live or on the replay, may we tap into the joy that is already ours. May we recognize that joy is our birthright, and that
mhm,
we have the opportunity to be enlightened in our spirits and our minds about the tiniest of things that we can be present in to experience joy. And even those things that are not as easy, God, allow us to walk through them, find whatever joy we can find in it, and then move on to greater levels of joy because we were willing to walk through it. Please go with us, guide us, protect us as only
mhm.
you can until we are able to convene again. We thank you for Kelli Joy Richardson for this space that has been created. Would you please prosper her, that you don't even, that she doesn't even just experience what she imagines, but above and beyond what she even imagines for herself? Would you allow her to experience that in this life? We thank you so much for who you are and all that you've done. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Amen. Amen. Amen. Thank you for that. I felt every word. Appreciate you
Mhm.
so much, Dr. Trenace. This was a blessing this morning. And I love everything you said. So thank you for being here.
It was a
Thank you,
pleasure.
everyone. Really a pleasure. We'll have to have you back at some point, and we'll have to go for a walk together since you
I
are
would
here in
love
Maryland.
that.
Let's make it happen. But we will make it happen. We will make it
Absolutely.
happen. Have a
Thank you.
wonderful day, everyone. And we'll be back next Sunday at 9 a.m. Eastern. Thank you.
Bye bye.
Enjoy. Bye bye.